Hi, I'm Edgar Hernandez.
And I'm Nuri Robles. And this is
Bar Talking Bar.
Your access to the heartbeat of New York City's bar and hospitality scene.
Hosted straight from the city that never sleeps, we sit down with bartenders, brands and ambassadors, hospitality pros, and cocktail lovers.
Whether it's the art of bartending, the hustle behind hospitality, or the wildest bar tales, expect raw conversations and industry secrets.
Listen to the people who pour your favorite cocktails and keep the nightlife alive.
If you love bars, spirits, and the stories that bring them to life, follow us, share, and subscribe to keep the conversations flowing.
The podcast that you didn't know you need.
New episodes weekly. Welcome back to another episode of
Bar Talking Bar.
I'm Nuri Robles.
And I'm Edgar Hernandez. How you doing?
How you doing? Thank you so much for watching another episode. This is a podcast that we want to show many VIP.
Everyone is a VIP.
Yeah. And today we have another episode with another VIP guest. And we're going to say 1, 2, 3, Edgar.
Jen Collins.
Yeah.
We're clapping. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Great. Happy January. As we still, celebrating dry January. I mean, I've been celebrating dry January every single day of the year, even though it's December, but...
Not true.
But today, we are lucky enough to have you here. Thank you for taking the time in the day. We know you're busy, especially throughout dry January, since, everybody wants to know more about what Aplós is all about. But like we always say, we want to know more, the person behind the bottle. And we would like to know more about Jen.
Yes, Jen, please. We have an audience right there. You can see it.
Do you see the eyes?
All the people.
Yeah. So
they're watching.
Yeah, they're watching us. I know we know you. You're sorry, but there is people that they don't know you. They want to know about you. Please, can you introduce yourself?
My
Tell us a little
story.
bit. Yeah. Industry secrets.
Yes, Jen Collins. I have been in the industry basically since, even literally when I'm 14. I was making pizza at this local pizza shop in my grandma's hometown. It was like my first real job.
Wow.
14.
And, making it didn't last very long, but I was able to make the pizzas, but that was my first little jump into the industry. And then obviously went to college and did all that. But yeah, I think for me, my dad was in the U.S. military. He was in the Army, and him and my mom in South Korea. So I was actually born there.
Okay.
And then whenever we moved back to the States, obviously still kind of moving around a lot. I basically learned how to be able to make friends and talk to anybody, just because I had to be able to adapt and, make new friends in different schools.
When you came, you already speak English or is it?
I was still like a baby.
Oh, you were a baby.
I wasn't speaking anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of just even that as something core in my childhood. I think that's kind of how I got to where I am, because I can literally relate in some way to people, because I'm okay, I want to learn more about you, and I'm curious about people. So fast forward, I go to college as a very half Korean person, wanted to be a doctor, very Asian, be a doctor. So I was studying biology and chemistry, graduated, and then I was going to go to optometry school, which is an eye doctor. My eyesight is horrible. I'm actually legally blind. So I was that's probably something I should maybe become so I can work on my own eyesight. But, I worked at the optometrist's office, and it just wasn't for me. It was too the same motions every day. I wanted some more excitement.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny because I was like, oh, I'm kind of like selling the eyeglasses more than the actual like appointment part of it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to move to DC and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out what.
Where were you before moving to DC?
I was in West Virginia.
Okay.
So my dad and that side of my family is from West Virginia.
Okay.
So it's so funny because I'm like Korean West Virginian, which I think is a very, very, very niche demographic. And yeah, I think that also like made me kind of more well-rounded person. Like I grew up, fishing and riding four-wheelers and hunting with my grandpa.
Wow, that has always been my dream.
Yeah.
I want to know, because I always see people doing that, and I know it's a science behind it. Like, even here in the Hudson, like, I see people, and it's like, how do they do that? Like,
To throw the line in.
Oh, yeah. You got to have a little, like, pizzazz to it, There's, like, a movement that you kind of get in the groove. But
and also, like, I feel like, I mean, I respect it, but I feel like, how long do I have to wait until I catch something?
a long time sometimes. A long time sometimes.
I think that's just patience too, right?
Yeah.
You have to wait until you catch something.
Yeah, but
That's
then
so cool.
it's even more exciting when you do.
Yeah.
Did you catch something big that you remember?
Nothing like super big. Like where we would go, it would be like kind of catfish or bluegill. They're not very big. They're like this big. Yeah.
I thought you were like, I'm gonna bring a big tuna.
I
don't know if we have tuna in this.
I was in Oaxaca and we went on a fishing trip and my friend caught a mahi-mahi, which
really?
it was like 80 pounds. It was crazy.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You guys ended up cooking it?
Big. Yeah, they made the ceviche right on the boat.
Oh.
And then when we got back, they had you could have like a local restaurant just like make you like a couple dishes with it.
Wow.
It was incredible. Yeah, really.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So going back to your town, so you moved to from West Virginia to Washington, D.C.
To Washington, D.C. And it was the closest kind of like bigger town. I always like first saw myself kind of, always wanted to live in New York. But, let's do a baby step. Let's go to D.C. first. And I thought I was still going to do like something in, health fields.
Okay.
I was like, okay, let me try to find like an internship with public health or something that I was like interested in that I could still use that background. I looked at even, the grad schools up here for masters in public health. And obviously internships don't really pay much. So got to make your rent. So let's, obviously I had background in the industry in college. I worked at a Mexican restaurant like as a server. Cool. And so, just to have some extra money and like, have extra funds for...
And being, like you said, from parents with South Korean heritage, when you start working like in a Mexican restaurant, how do you think about the Mexican food?
I mean, I loved it. Obviously, Mexican food in West Virginia is probably like very basic Mexican food, like they're going to have, your regular like tacos and flautas and things like that. But yeah, and then obviously we were making margaritas, so...
Were you bartending there or were you serving?
We were serving, but the owner let us, make a little something after a shift,
Oh, that's nice.
That's cool.
That's nice.
Thank you for giving margaritas.
A little, we would get off shift and have a little like beverage, a little cocktail before it was like our pregame before we like went out on the weekends and stuff. So
that sounds like a lot of us.
Yeah. So after there, I was like, my grandma, being from West Virginia, she loves to cook. She literally has like hundreds of cookbooks, hundreds of them. And I've already like called dibs. I'm like, I want all of these whenever it's time. And so growing up, she would always have Food Network on. So we'd watch Emerald, back in the day when it was like those types of people. Yeah. So when it came to moving to DC and like trying to find a restaurant that I wanted to work at, There was this one, it was like, had just recently opened called Range. It was by Brian Voltaggio. He was on Top Chef. So I was like, I'm really interested in like all this like very elevated food that I've obviously never even been exposed to in West Virginia. And I want to learn and everything. And of course, like me being like a naive 22-year-old coming to the city, I was like, yeah, I want to be a server. And they're like, you have no fine dining experience. But we know like you're smart, like, you know, be a food runner first and like kind of show. And yeah, I was like, whatever, I need a job and I need to pay my rent. So yeah, I'll be a food runner. But I was very much on the GM, like, I'm going to show you I can do this really well. Like I'm a very studious person. I made like note cards with all the like dishes. It was very like composed dishes. And it was like one of those places, you know, you present the dish when you go to the table. And yeah, after, you know, I don't even know how long, but then I became a server there. And obviously being more fine dining background, there was so much, like they had, at the time, we had 2 master sommeliers. It was the only restaurant in the world that had 2 master sommeliers. So we were just learning so much about wine. And like, I was really into it. Like, and in college, I even did some research and soil content and stuff like that. So for me, like terroir and being able to like bridge it all together in this culinary.
It gives you more sense of like, what are they talking about? Like,
yeah. And like, because, you know, however much certain elements that are in the soil, it's going to make the wine taste like this. And like, obviously the temperature and everything. And so for me, it was just like such a wealth of knowledge to be able to work there. And of course, then the bar team too, like I just remember the first time, I mean, this is 2012. They were already like doing clarifying things.
Really?
And yeah, so like the team there, I mean, they just rock star team for this restaurant, you know.
I mean,
and so they had a clarified Bloody Mary, which was like kind of threw people off, right? Because you're like, it should be red.
but that's very cool.
Again, I'm thinking about the process of making the clarification, and it's probably had to be taken a lot.
Yeah.
It took a long time to make it.
So after that, obviously, like you start hanging out with the bar people, and then after shift, you go hang out with more bar people from other restaurants, and then they start talking about the USBG, and there's like another craft guild that was in DC, and I was like, I really want to bartend. So yeah, one of my girlfriends at the time, she was running Rosa Mexicano in DC, and I was like, look, I don't know, I've never bartended before, but I want to learn. And she like took a chance. Obviously, I had to bar back first. But I learned high volume there. It was so busy.
I know.
So busy. And then I was also working at this place, Dakaya Izakaya. It's like a Japanese izakaya.
Okay.
And that also was a place that was like very kind of mixology forward.
They're very strict, right?
Yeah, and well, they're like, we were making sake spheres and putting them for like sake bombs, so it would like burst in your mouth. Like Lucas B. Smith, he, if you ever get to meet him, you should definitely invite him on. He is like the nerdiest. Like, I love it because obviously I come from like a chemistry background, but he gets like chemistry with all of like how to like make drinks and stuff, which is like really cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then went over to the Four Seasons, was bartending there, was the only woman bartender over there. Yeah, I mean, it worked out. There's a lot of businessmen coming there, so like we need like some female energy, you know, and just like had a really great time. I mean, the prep, like all the prep, and like we just felt so. I think DC too, being like a smaller bar community, like I felt like everyone was like really inspired by each other and like going to these USBG meetings and like, you know, learning more and you know, for me, and then of course like people started working for brands. So I was like, oh, let me see about like what's going on here with the brands, you know. And then I had an opportunity to work with Leblon Cachaça, And, it was part-time. And obviously, like, cachaça is such, it's one of the most drank spirits in the world, but, like, a lot of people don't know still.
I love caipirinhas.
I love caipirinhas.
We all do.
And
Passion fruit especially. Keep tropical.
yeah, and that was, like, kind of, like, my first, foray into the spirits brand world. I was kind of trying to get people to put on the menus and things like that. Obviously, a huge educational piece. Even how to say cachaça,
Cachaça, yeah.
And after that, I was like, if I can sell cachaça, I can sell anything,
I remember also the first time I saw cachaça. People were like, how do you pronounce this? I don't even know what is the name of it. It's an S, like cachaça. We were like...
Yeah, the crazy C.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, we took a brand trip down there. And some of these people are still, like, such good friends now. Like Sly from London was there, Colin from Bacardi. And we were in Brazil for, like, 12 days. Marcio, he's down in Brazil. He has, like, tons of, he's been working in the industry, had his own bars down there. And then it kind of just, like, opened my eyes to, like, oh, this is what this job could be. Like, you get to travel, you get to meet people. And that to me is, like, amazing, to be able to do that for work.
Yeah.
I'm like, obviously not a chef, but I'm like, oh, it's kind of like Anthony Bourdain. I want to, like, go around and, like, taste and experience. And
yeah, the tasting, the experiences, and every time you go there, you're slowly sharing the knowledge you have, and for what I've seen also as bartenders, when you go, they're like, oh, they're using a technique that we're not using, we could probably incorporate it, or at least I'll see, if I can replicate, or a cocktail that you're drinking down there, or an ingredient that is down there especially, that you can probably work in the future to create a new cocktail, as a bartender perspective. Since you were working there. And were you there for cachaça full-time, or were you working part-time with them?
Just part-time, and still kind of bartending and everything. And especially, like, when you get to actually, like, go to a country and a city, and you get to experience the culture and, even learn so much more about cachaça. Like, there's some that are, like, aged in all these, like, crazy wood varietals. There's, like, tons of wood varietals in Brazil that they use.
Honestly, I just know, like, two probably, like the regular and the añejo.
Yeah.
But I know. And so how is for you, like, did you go to distilleries in Brazil?
Mm-hmm. So we did go to the Leblon distillery, but it's in an area that they distill a lot of cachaça, so Minas Gerais. So we started out in Sao Paulo, and then we went to Minas Gerais, and then we ended in Rio, of course. Little party and just hanging out at the beach.
I was gonna say, you have to go and play some futebol.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know, but like, my
exactly.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
Yeah. And two, like, to be able to, like, go to a culture that they don't, like, work themselves to death,
Yeah.
And to me, I'm just like, I have to work to, like, get here and here. And when I left, I was crying. Like, I was like, I didn't know life could be like this. Like, they really enjoy. They don't, like, it's like, live to work, work to live. Like, I'm like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, I think that obviously, like, when you're trying to grow and, like, get higher positions and stuff, you don't really take time for yourself, and you're wondering why you're burnt out. And, so for me to, like, even just go to another culture that really just prioritizes, like, having fun and, like, relaxing and not having work be, like, the center, it literally changed my life. Because when I came back, I was like, okay, I still want to, like, do something I'm passionate about, but in a way that I'm not just, like, beating myself down.
And balancing yourself, because like, we know that this industry also, we live backwards. We usually start working in the middle of the day. If you were a bartender, I don't know in DC, but back in the day also here in New York City, we used to close some places at 4 a.m. So you don't have that balance. Like people go out on Fridays and Saturdays. We never had that chance when you work in the industry. And sometimes, even in a Monday, you are like super tired. You don't want to go 3 o'clock having lunch with someone. So it gets more stress on your life because you have to sleep differently. You have to work differently. And then, like you say, if you have that mentality of like just work, eventually your body's like, stop.
Yeah.
Right? It takes a toll.
Yeah. I'm like, why am I sick all the time? Like, well,
tired. Like,
tired, yeah. So, with that, and like for myself, and this is how I kind of like was like, okay, I really want to transition like more to the brand side because I'm a super morning person. Okay. Like, even if I close the bar at night, I'm still getting up. So I wasn't like sleeping because I like to like get up and like feel like, I can get some stuff done. And so I was like, okay. And I had the opportunity. I started working part-time with a Mezcal and then it became full-time. And then they were launching in New York and I was living in DC. Okay. And they're like, do you want to help launch this Mezcal in New York? And I was like, I've always wanted to live there. So let's go. And that was 2018. So I moved here in the middle of 2018. Obviously launching any brand in the biggest city in the world by just me, the one employee. Okay. Of course, I would have like help come, that work for the company. But it was definitely like 3 months in, like crying on the subway, just because like, the city's already like really tough and, just getting a new brand out there. But it was a big learning lesson. I think it made me, I think before I was a little bit of a people pleaser and like kind of a pushover. Like I'm just like, oh, it's fine. But I think it definitely gave me some like thicker skin, like boundaries and like, just to be able to like stand up for myself. And and then of course, like that's how I started to meet all these like amazing industry people here in New York. And I worked for them for a long time. But then, I think like as I've gotten older, I still love to go out and I love like trying new drinks, natural wine, like different cocktails. But I was already kind of cutting back. I think too, because like I have celiac disease and it's an autoimmune disorder. So like alcohol it kind of like my stomach sometimes is like, you have to take care of yourself. And if you're feeling like, hey, I feel like I need to like kind of maybe set some boundaries for my own personal consumption, just for my own health. And obviously like COVID and and just kind of like reevaluating. And that's not to say like, I still drink, but it just kind of like choosing when and being able to like now have all these other options, which is great. And I think that's kind of how, for me, even with the Mezcal, when I would have to be out all the time, I was like, oh, I wish there was something that I could drink that made it look like I was drinking. But, and then of course, when Aplós came around, was like, hey, do you want to maybe, and I was like, wait, this is what I was looking for before.
Time. You came at the right time.
Yeah, because, even, there's people that they have more tolerance, depending on your body as well, everything. Or you just want to socialize without being drinking at all. And sometimes it's hard also if you work in the industry. And I think everybody appreciates when you go and visit a friend and they treat you very well. But it is a moment that everybody's like, let's do another shot. And it's like, for example, in my case, I don't drink too much because I just feel like if I get 2 shots, I start feeling immediately drunk. Yeah. So I try to like just go in with water. But sometimes, even I don't want to drink like cranberry with soda. I want something. And I feel like with Edgar, I've been learning a lot of like how I see his passion about doing also non-alcoholic drinks. And I feel like, oh my God, that's cool. Because, when the transition came of like seeing more inclusion with non-alcoholic, you will think about, so what type of juice is going to be with another sugar or something, right? But then there's like brands that they came along like Aplós. So I think I try one of those, but also if you can tell us about Aplós. Aplós, the audience.
Yes.
And maybe we can try it.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, so Aplós was started towards the end of 2020. We have two main co-founders, David Fudge and Emily Onke. David's based in Miami. Emily's based here in New York, out in the Hamptons. And, I think they were just trying to solve for like, okay, we want an adult sophisticated beverage that makes us feel included, but with no alcohol. So like, how do we figure this out, And I think that's why like some, our products are, they're functional. They have functional ingredients. We kind of just want to solve for that in a way that, okay, why do people go out to drink? Either a glass of wine, relax, take the edge off after work, or out with your girlfriend's birthday, whatever, more social aspects, party mode, So could we add functional ingredients in here that could kind of elicit those same feelings? Obviously not the same as getting drunk, right? But still kind of have those aspects and not be hungover the next day,
And when you say functional ingredients, what do you refer to?
Yeah. So we kind of have a different lineup of different functional ingredients. Anything. So I'm either talking about like adaptogens, nootropics. These are all things that like occur in nature that when you consume, it's going to help your body kind of keep an equilibrium. So. Like for instance, Ease has lion's mane mushroom. It's really good for your cognitive health. One of the first product that they launched, Calm, has broad spectrum hemp. So it's CBD, CBG, all the cannabinoids, except for THC. So it won't get you high.
I was thinking, might save me a trip.
Yeah. But those elements. It's called Calm because you want to, drink it after work, have a little something during the week or something that you can still have a beverage and still kind of elicit those feelings of like, okay, this is what I'm trying to solve for. Like, I would have a glass of wine after work to take the edge off. But now I can just drink some Calm and however you want to drink it, right? Yeah. So I have a soda stream at home, so I just keep it really simple with our spirits. Yeah. Just soda stream and
mix it. Because I feel like sometimes also when people listen about, they put in something that is going to make me feel like I'm high or I'm dreaming or whatever, like you mentioned, it's not happening. But as well, I feel like we can also remove the bias of like, alcohol sells and it's legal, but other substances, they still been kind of like demonized, like weed, for example, and then eventually became legal because at the end of the day, we probably people who doesn't drink or doesn't use like any other element, sometimes you drink coffee, because you want to wake up. You sometimes take a valeriana tea just to calm yourself. So sometimes it's a little bit of education that we need. And thank you for being here so you can tell people that this is nothing that you're going to be tripping or something.
No.
Yeah. I think it's like the biggest skepticism for people when they think about drinking and drinking something with hemp. They're like, am I going to get... No, it's just one of the ingredients. It's just like saying with the other non-alcoholics, they add capsicum. So, it's just an ingredient that goes there for something, right?
Right.
And like you said, keeping it simple, just add in soda, probably add it into your lemonade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if you go to the bar, then I'm sure at a bar they have a really nice thought of cocktail that you can enjoy. I mean, there's so many things that we can do. There's so many things.
Yeah, and I think, the education behind like functional ingredients, adaptogens, nootropics, things like that, I think in the next couple of years, it is going to be a lot easier. Because if you think about like in the grocery store, Now you have all these like mushroom coffees.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of products out there that do have different types of mushrooms. Like has ashwagandha. It'll help with this. And so I do think like people are going to be more like just organically kind of educated with all these like new products out there. Like I was even speaking with someone about our products because the Ease has L-theanine. L-theanine basically helps reduce inflammation in our bodies, which at the end of the day will make us feel more relaxed. But he was like, "Oh, I already take L-theanine," so like he already knew.
Okay.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it's I think little by little.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's just going to be this like educational portion, but yeah, there's a ton of new products out there, food and beverage, grocery wise, that kind of have all these like new ingredients. And I think at the end of the day, it's about being inclusive and just having options for people, right? Because, before it was just, we were using whatever we had. We have juices and like all the syrups that you have like from the menu you already have.
Yes.
But now we can kind of make more like intentional cocktails and maybe make some that aren't as sugary or something like that. Because I think that was for me when I was working with the Mezcal. I'm like, okay, there are NA cocktails in the menu, but I don't like sugary drinks in general. Like I like Mezcal neat. I like martinis, like very dry cocktails. So for me, I'm like, oh, but maybe I'll order one NA and then have to switch back to like club soda and bitters because I'm just like, just not for me.
Sure,
And two, like for people that are looking for like alternatives, I think that they are kind of looking for stuff that is not as sugary, that they can have 3 and not feel like super sugar bomb.
Exactly.
And that for me, like with Aplós, was like a game changer, especially like some of our cans. Like some non-alc can products are a little bit higher in sugar still. And, some people have to watch out for that. Like one of my best friends has diabetes and, he has to watch his sugar levels and, to have options for people.
Yeah. Can I grab one of those?
Yeah, of course.
This is going to grab it very quick. So what I see is this is the chili margarita.
Chili margarita.
Which one of the Aplós in there?
Yeah, so the base for the chili margarita is going to be Aplós Arise. Arise having functional ingredients that are more social, uplifting. So it's going to have vitamin B12, vitamin D, ginseng, these types of elements that are natural that, most people know what vitamin B12 and vitamin D are. That kind of like make you feel more uplifted, get a little boost.
You literally switch my head because it's funny because I think this is the best representation because when you said uplifting, my head of bias of like, this is going to get me high or something. I was thinking about something weird. And then the moment you said it has vitamin B and D, it literally changed. I was like, okay, that's something that I want to try.
Yeah.
Especially with vitamin D deficiency if you work in the service industry, because we indoors most of the time, unless you work at the beach during the summer. But yeah, a lot of us bartending, we need vitamin D or we have a deficiency, but we don't really know it because we don't really like to go to the doctor. I think this is the best way for us to have it.
And this has vitamin D, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
I need my vitamins.
Yeah, so for the Arise, that's the functional ingredients. The flavor profiles too for our spirits, like Arise is agave flower, lemon verbena, and black Sarawak pepper. We wanted to create these flavor profiles so bartenders, it would be like interesting to like, let's be creative when it comes to like the cocktails. That wasn't one thing, like David and Emily got Lynette Marrero to join Team Aplós as our liquid.
Shout out to Lynette.
She's the best. And she obviously is, knows flavors, and she's our liquid creative director. She kind of helped guide on these spirits and products. And I think that that was a game changer because, we want something that doesn't get lost in the drink, but it's also interesting. I think from the Aplós approach, we just wanted something, like we didn't want people to compare, like, oh, non-alc gin or tequila. We just wanted people to, this is their first time with Aplós, and it's Aplós, you know? And so, the Rise, it is a good agave spirit substitute, like that and Tommy's Margarita, Palomas, things like that, spritzes.
My mind is just blowing and like thinking of all these different delicious drinks.
Even like, with the black Sarawak pepper, like I put that in like Bloody Mary and you get a little vitamins in the morning.
Wow.
But yeah, it's super versatile. We wanted people to be able to just play off the flavor profiles.
Awesome.
I do think too, like with the added functional ingredients, it does give more of like a little bit of weight and viscosity, so that when you do make a cocktail, it still has that weight and viscosity of an alcoholic drink too. So, and yeah, with our other flavor profiles, I mean, Calm and Ease. They are going to be more herbal, so it's going to be yuzu, basil, shiso, dandelion root. It's going to be way more cooling on the palate. Obviously, it would be great as a substitute for gin-style drinks, but any kind of white spirit, that and an NA mojito, gimlets, obviously any type of spritzes. But yeah, recently we've been kind of testing out more like lower ABV, like split-based drinks.
Yeah.
Just to like have that type of option too, right? Like sometimes I want a Vesper and sometimes I maybe want something a little bit low, just like a little bit lower ABV, So being able to kind of utilize these products in those types of ways. And I think too with the cans, like you can kind of choose your own adventure. So even with the cans, we have them at a few like hotel mini bars because they also have the alcohol there too. So if you want an Aplós margarita, but if you want to add the tequila and in the room, you can make a cocktail there. And choose your own adventure, and I think like the versatility of it.
That's a great idea, honestly, because we mentioned in the podcast on the previous episodes the addition of non-alcoholic spirits to make or to create a low-proof cocktail. It's another ingredient we can use as bartenders. And, you just made me think of a martini 50-50, for example, right? Instead of adding gin, probably adding just a little bit of vermouth, or vice versa. No vermouth and add a little bit of a gin. Just to play around with it. I mean, there's not a rule or law that says that how to make things. It's just, you find what you like. And like you say, explore things. Just taste them. I think the best way for you to know something or about something is to taste it. And if they haven't tasted, I mean, the folks who are watching or listening at this moment, they could probably reach out to you and, ask for a taste, ask them to train their staff. I think the most important part here is the training part. And education as well. I mean, I'm so happy that you're here. You're talking about this product, but also, like for the upcoming bartenders, for mom and dad who's just sitting at home watching and listening to this, and they don't want to drink. Hey, this is the best way for you to, explore a new cocktail, mocktail. For, I mean, I think we were doing mocktails. But now it's called a non-alcoholic cocktail.
Yeah.
So, I was like, hey, do you want a mocktail or a non-alcoholic cocktail? What is it?
Yeah, there's some controversy with all of that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just about being able to provide people with these options. There's so many, obviously, different, like, really delicious ones out there. And I think just being able for people to choose, right?
Yeah.
If you think about, Miami, however long ago, 10 years ago, it was like virgin pina colada and virgin mojito. And it's kind of geared towards kids, right? So like what's the adult version of that? So we obviously, David and Emily come from like a fashion background, so they wanted it to look beautiful. Like they wanted to be like, yeah, I feel good about like drinking this and I feel like I'm not left out and no one's even going to know, you know what I mean?
But also I feel like these termination, words they have also to do with like education, right? Because, for example, when we say mocktails, it comes back from like probably old school bartenders that they were like, oh my God, I put all my work doing cocktails and then now you want something with not alcohol. So let's just mock, right? Like when people says like, I want to drink vodka, you know, and they kind of demonize vodka, but still it's another spirit. People wanted to drink that. And I feel like also having these options of non-alcoholic, there is also people that they want, like I mentioned before, but you have those guests that they said, oh, this is too strong, right? Because sometimes it's too strong for other people, but having a low ABV with mixers, it helps you to feel like, okay, now I have this option, right? And like Edgar said, like having this at home also saves you like, oh, I have to have 20 or like 5 ingredients to do my own mixer. So I feel like this is super cool. Just open it and pour it.
Yeah.
Just open, pour, take it to the beach. That's what I always say, you know. It's, yes, of course, it's dry January, and we talk about non-alcoholic for dry January, but also dry January of non-alcoholic experiences throughout all the year, you know. It's whatever you want to drink, honestly, like low proof, no proof, alcohol, whatever. But I think we say dry January because everybody wants to recover from the holidays, from the party, from all their family reunions, you know, for your friends and whatever you celebrated throughout the end of the year. But honestly, for me, I would probably do this all year long if I had the opportunity. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to go in June, July, and September, drink it somewhere else. So I don't have to wait for just January to drink it, you know.
Yeah, of course. And I think like balance looks different for everyone. And, you know, last year I did dry January. It was the first time I did it. Because I think like I already have, you know, I drink and then I won't. Like I already kind of was doing like take some breaks here and there. But yeah, I think for each person, you know, some people do dry January. It's like a good reset for some people. Yeah. But we're definitely like 85% of our clientele still drink. You know, it's just about choosing when. I mean, even for myself, like we just got our ume spritz is our number one seller. It's Japanese plum or Blanco grapefruit. It's like sunshine in a glass. Obviously, we have this Mandora orange Negroni. It is a lot lighter. Some of my girlfriends that don't like Negronis, they're like, I can drink this because it's not as bitter as like a typical Negroni. But being able to like have these products in spaces that even because it's a can, you know, we've gotten them into nightclubs. And I just had a meeting at a gentleman's club. And, you know, so it can be anywhere. You know what I mean? We just were at a concert venue over the weekend. And maybe people are doing dry January, so they could have this as an option. We were just you know, we had a regular cocktail in the beginning, and then towards the end of the night, because I like to be out, I like to have fun, but I don't like to be hungover. So I might like, you know, have a couple of drinks at the beginning of the night, but as like the night goes on, I'm probably trying to cut it down, you know. And yeah, and then like, you know, for our last drink, we had some ume spritzes, and then I got a good night's sleep last night, you know.
We would love to taste, honestly, the ume, so we can tell folks listening or watching what this tastes like.
Ume spritz, so Japanese plum, there's some Oro Blanco grapefruit, and yeah, it's literally so tasty. David wanted something that was like a replacement for like if you wanted to drink rosé after work so something that was like bright and like fresh and crushable.
Let's try it.
Yeah. This product is also going to have the lion's mane mushroom, which is good for our brains.
Oh, I need that.
Yes. A little bit of magnesium and suntheanine. Obviously, these elements are kind of help reducing inflammation. So it's kind of, it's to take the edge off, you know, after a long day.
Yeah, please. I'm going to pass it around. This is for you, Edgar. And we're pouring it.
Yes.
listen to the bubbles. I mean, if you wish you guys can see the bubbles here. Wow, it smells. The aroma is so nice.
Yeah, bright, fresh.
Oh wow, I love the bubbles like that. Thank you. Cheers. Yes, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh my God.
Cheers to Aplós.
Yes,
Cheers to cheers.
First
yeah.
podcast.
Thank you for being here.
For being here.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is really good. Oh, is there citrus in here?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a little bit of citrus.
Yeah, the Oro Blanco grapefruit. Oro Blanco grapefruit.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. Like will be great with a paloma. It's made me think about so many things right now.
Well, I'm also sometimes we don't drink soda, but I have that kind of sensation. I want something bubbly, but I don't want the sugars or the colorants. I think these are very good options.
Yeah,
I can just drink 2 of them.
Yeah. Per can, it's only 30 calories per can and 3 grams of sugar. No added sugar. So, I mean, for a lower sugar option, it's great.
It's great. It's a perfect balance because it doesn't feel like it's a good balance overall in the mouthfeel. It's not. Yes, you're right. It's not too, but that's I still get some of the grapefruity notes. It's great. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love it so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this to my dad because he likes to drink juices and everything, so I know he's gonna like it. But also, like we were saying, I think I asked you about some pregnant women can drink it, and you said that.
Yeah. So when it comes to pregnant or even people that are on different medications, we always just recommend talking to your doctor first on seeing if all the products have all the ingredients on the back. So just to be sure, obviously everyone's different. I definitely have had girlfriends that were pregnant that drank Aplós, but it just depends, Yeah. So, and that's why too, the ingredients are there. I always recommend, people ask me that at the restaurant when I do staff trainings. What do we do? And I just trained the staff a couple weeks ago at Cote in Miami, the Korean steakhouse.
Oh, wow.
And same question came up. But I'm like, hey, just go show them the bottle and they can decide, what's right for them.
Wow. I didn't know there was a Cote in Miami. I know there's a Cote here in New York. But...
They just launched Vegas, too.
Wow.
They're growing.
You guys are getting really good stuff in Vegas and in Miami then. Wow.
Yeah. Never been to Vegas yet, but... gotta go check it out.
Yeah.
Take me with you, please.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Wilderness.
Yeah.
Play some casino and have some good times out there.
We do crazy things because whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah. Actually, one of my friends I went to high school with, he just got married there.
Vegas?
Yeah, with Elvis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
At the Graceland Church.
Oh.
And they live stream it, and it's Elvis up there,
That's so
officiating.
funny. I love the Hangover movie, and I always think about doing something crazy. Maybe I kidnap Edgar and I marry you.
Yeah. But one of these days, I still need a ring.
Yeah.
Put a ring on it.
Soon.
We don't live in 1930 anymore, you guys. Get it right. But yeah, I mean, thank you so much for coming. We love the fact that you were here today. Thank you for letting us show the product and
Try
it, and also the audience, to meet the person, to know who you are, and if they want to reach out to you, are you able to share your handles, social media? So they can reach out to you?
Yeah, Instagram is Jen, JENK Collins. Just hit me up.
Yes.
And
you guys want to taste it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, you can look at the Aplós IG, right, in Instagram.
Yeah, Aplós. It's at aplos.world.
Aplós World.
Worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah, eventually.
So you know what? You just made me think of Pibble. We're worldwide.
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide. Yeah.
From Miami. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. this is another episode. Thank you, Jen, for coming today. Thank you, Edgar, for another episode.
Thank you, Nay.
Please don't forget to subscribe. Please to comment. Let's have a conversation. You have our Instagram at Bar Talking Bar. No,
Yes.
the Instagram.
Oh.
Bar Talking.
Oh, we have to do it again. This is Bar Talking
Talking
Bar.
And, we always said tip your bartender. And also, if you want to donate for our project, we have on the description the link for Buy Me a Coffee, because we need coffee, guys. We also need coffee. Please support us.
And for more episodes like this, go to our webpage at www.bartalkingbarnyc.com.
Yes.
Yay. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Is there anything you want to say before we go? Shout out or acknowledge somebody that you
Shout outs. Oh, man.
you have a lot.
Pressure.
It's like the 2 minutes for the Oscars.
I know. It's like,
Ding,
yeah.
Drum roll.
Yeah, I would have to say I would like to shout out my friend Maggie. She's the one that originally brought me into the Aplós world. Obviously, our owners, David and Emily, best people I've worked with in my adult life. They're really about a work-life balance. So, like, please,
That's
cut
very
it
important.
off.
We want to meet him. We want to meet them soon, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. My family, everyone, thank you all. Anyone that supported us with Aplós, of course, because with, a growing brand, even just giving me the opportunity to taste and try. It's been like an incredible last 2 years. I'm excited to see what happens in the next 2 with the non-alc world. Yeah.
It is evolving a lot and rapidly. We don't really see it, but
It's coming.
It's here.
It is
And
here,
It's
actually.
here, and we just have to keep moving and evolving as we go at the same time. And we have healthy options too. Like the fact that you can enjoy a cocktail, enjoy a drink with your friend doesn't necessarily have to be alcoholic product. But it's really anything you want. Honestly, like
Anything.
if you want to drink water, that's fine. But there's so many options nowadays. And then, we were lucky enough to have tasted it in front of the camera. Thank you once again.
Thank you. And now, as you see, now we have another New Yorker.
Yes.
New York.
New York.
Yeah,
New
longest
York.
place I've ever lived.
Yeah, really?
We're New Yorker
Wow.
now.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Adios.